Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game, Season 3, Episode 19, NXT Takeover SoCal. We have 7 wonderful matches here tonight for you at this Takeover extravaganza, and let's get straight into the action. Alright folks, to start the show, we are going to see Renee Young and Corey Graves. Renee Young says, "Welcome to NXT Takeover SoCal. We are proud to be here at a sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, and we are proud to bring to you the best action in professional wrestling today." Corey Graves, "That's right, Renee. Tonight, we're going to see 7 big-time matches that will include the first ever NXT Women's Money in the Bank match, the NXT Light Heavyweight Championship on the line, as well as the NXT Heavyweight Championship on the line. Get this, sit down if you aren't already. Scott Steiner taking on Sami Zayn. Ha! What's going on in NXT? Renee Young, all that and so much more, but first we're going to see the current Money in the Bank briefcase holder Neville trying to fight gravity one more time when he takes on the leader of the Balor Club, Finn Balor. Let's get straight into the action. We get a video breaking down the Money in the Briefcase holder Neville and Finn Balor's feud and how it's gotten to this point. Finn Balor versus Neville, 2 fantastic workers going one-on-one in the middle of an NXT ring. Let me type something real quick. Alright. And about that featured great action and average heat. Finn Balor defeats Neville in 10 minutes and 44 seconds by pinfall with a coup de grace. During the match, we had Gallows distract Neville, leading to the victory for Finn Balor. Finn Balor injured. He was already slowed by it. He had actually an injury his last show, so he was slowed by injury, which is why I'm expecting the rating isn't as high as it could have been. But Finn Balor gets the victory. Alright, after the match, Gallows gets into the ring and tosses out Neville, whom he distracted, and Finn Balor looks furious. As Finn Balor continues to yell at Gallows, Doc is seen closing his eyes and proceeding to try to calm himself down before planting his size 16 boot square on the jaw of Finn Balor, which shocks the crowd. Gallows picks up Finn Balor with one hand and drops him square in the middle of the ring with a chokeslam and gets on his knees a la Stone Cold and begins to scream in his face before laying into punches left and right. Gallows stands up to boos now before proceeding to stop a mud hole until when Balor is absolutely being destroyed in the middle of the ring. For those of you who are just tuning into TakeOver Shine and have not been following NXT on a weekly basis, the Balor Club, with all their recent losses, with all their recent frustration and unable to get the job done, have really been falling apart lately. The camera focuses and catches the Young Bucks appearing from backstage now as they begin to run to the ring. Complete turn. Alright, Finn Balor has went face because he got beat up. But as they have reached the ring out of nowhere, a man that jumped the barricade and tackled the Young Bucks before they can reach the ring. Gallows taps over the top rope and the man pulls his hoodie aside and begins to lay into the Young Bucks. Mad at Nick Jackson himself, which is sitting the arena into a frenzy. The hood comes off immediately and it's revealed to be none other than the machine gun Carl Anderson as the two Carl Anderson and Gallows begin to destroy the Young Bucks on the outside of the ring, much to the disapproval of the fans in attendance. Back-to-back shoulder-to-shoulder magic leaves the Bucks out, and Doc and Carl turn their attention to the back as Finn Balor, who's barely stirring. We are going to complete the turn for Matt and Nick Jackson as well. They are also going face. This was Carl Anderson's debut, joining with Doc Gallows. As I just pointed out, the Bullet Club, the Balor Club had been completely falling apart, and this was the last straw. Doc Gallows calls on his buddy Carl Anderson to help him make it official. Anderson and Gallows now have slid into the ring and began to take apart Finn Balor as well. Gallows removing the turnbuckle pad as referees have begun to ran down the ramp to the ring and try to break up the destruction Anderson and Gallows have began to cause. Balor's face goes hard into the turnbuckle, and as he's busted open, his eyes roll back in his head, what appears to be a legit concussion. The two back off Finn Balor as the staff come out and follow the Too Sweet over Finn Balor, mocking him. They get out of the ring, step over the fallen Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and celebrate up the ramp to an enormous amount of boos, while Anderson can be heard saying, "This is just the beginning." So, Carl Anderson debuts in NXT, teams with Doc Gallows. They take out Nick Jackson. Finn Balor's injured. The Balor Club is no more. Alright, we then focus and fade to backstage area where we see Scott Steiner working out. Scott Steiner, out of nowhere, got a title shot with the Battle Royal victory. He goes one-on-one with the NXT Heavyweight Champion Sami Zayn in the main event tonight. But the next match, and about that featured great action but not in much way feat, Johnny Gargano defeats Tyler Breeze in 7 minutes with a Hurts Donut. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, makes defense number 1 of his NXT Light Heavyweight Championship. Johnny Gargano defends successfully against Prince Pretty. Alright, now the lights turn out, and William Regal is standing in the middle of the ring after a couple moments with a microphone next to the NXT Tag Team Champions, American Alpha. William Regal, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the longest reigning champions of any kind here in NXT, the team who sits currently at 364 days and 18 hours, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, American Alpha." The fans cheer as Chad Gable looks forward. Mr. Regal, this was totally unnecessary, but we appreciate it, said Jason Jordan. But appreciated, he echoes Jason Jordan's thoughts. Some fun stats Jason and I got together out of both being lost at the time, unsure of where to go. This is the first TakeOver special where we haven't defended our NXT championships, and this is, all of a sudden, a guitar riffs make their way through the arena, and an absolutely uproarious amount of boos begin. Anderson and Gallows have showed up on the top of the ramp. The fans let out insane boos as Anderson has a microphone. Allow me to properly introduce myself. My name is Carl Anderson, the machine gun Carl Anderson, says Anderson, as the boos are the loudest they've been all night. Tonight, me and Luke disbanded the Balor Club single-handedly. I was sitting at home and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't watch Finn Balor put the screws to my boy anymore, so I got off my ass and did something about it. Will you both get off of yours? The fans boo. And that's exactly what you boys should do, he says, pointing to American Alpha. Every takeover since you won the tag team champions, blah, 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 you've defended, blah, blah, blah. Well, why stop now? Why put it into the run now? You see, me and Luke, Doc, we are multiple times IWGP tag team champions. We have won numerous tournaments, trophies, awards, and from what we've seen, you've beaten everyone, except us. The fans boo. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have now entered the ring. Doc Gallows has the mic. So how about it, boys? William Regal turns to American Alpha. Chad and Jason don't have to Jason Jordan and Chad Gable at the same time accept the challenge. William Regal turns his head a bit shocked as American Alpha, who are fighting champions, begin to take off their shirts as the fans begin to go crazy as a sly look over the face of Anderson and Gallows creeps across their mouths. They have just talked themselves into an impromptu NXT Tag Team Championship match against a 10-time defending NXT Tag Team Champions American Alpha, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. William Regal can see him shrugging, asking them if they're sure, which they are, and he nods and motions for a referee. NXT Tag Team Championships randomly are on the line here. And in about that featured great action, but not in much way feat, Anderson and Gallows defeat American Alpha in 9 minutes when Carl Anderson defeats Chad Gable by submission. Anderson and Gallows, after 364 days and 18 and a half hours, have become the new NXT Tag Team Champions of the world. The fans let out a loud groan as Anderson and Gallows have just shocked the wrestling world, ending American Alpha's NXT tag team title reign at 364 days. The duo's too sweet over American Alpha, who are in shock and disbelief that they lost, with huge gold around the waist of Anderson and Gallows. What a turn of events here. First, Anderson debuts with Doc Gallows taking out the Balor Club, disbanding them, and then they push American Alpha into a corner and obtain the tag team championships. Whoa. We now get a video breaking down the feud between Kevin Owens and the leader of Manifest Destiny, Samoa Joe. Reverse that between Samoa Joe and the leader of Manifest Destiny, Kevin Owens. Alright, in a match that featured great action but average heat, Kevin Owens defeats Samoa Joe in 18 minutes with a package pile driver. So Kevin Owens gets the victory here over Samoa Joe, ending the feud. Okay, we're not counting Kevin Owens. We now get a video breakdown that shook the wrestling world a few weeks ago when Hideo Itami turned on his good friend Apollo Crews. That match is coming up next. Apollo Crews wanted it. William Regal granted it. Apollo Crews and Hideo Itami here at NXT TakeOver SoCal. And in about that featured great action but not in much way of feat, Hideo Itami defeats Apollo Crews in 8 minutes with a double diving foot stomp. Hideo Itami gets the victory. After the match, Hideo Itami is on his knees cradling the head of Apollo Crews before kneeing him over and over in the face with multiple attacks, leaving Apollo Crews knocked out what appears to be cold. Hideo Itami drags Apollo by one arm towards the side of the corner and positions his head upright to the mat. Hideo Itami climbs to the top rope going for his version of the coup de grace when all of a sudden the lights go out and flashing red spotlights are flashing and flashing and flashing throughout the arena. A very familiar guitar riff followed by another. Corey Graves. Can it be? Can it be? It is! Shinsuke Nakamura shows up on the top of the ramp as the entire arena has gone onto their feet chanting Nakamura, the man who's NXT Undertaker-esque figure. So basically Nakamura, as I told you, NXT Legacy, our WrestleMania show, I'm presenting Nakamura like our Undertaker, so he was only around for special matches. Hideo Itami now has jumped off the top rope and began screaming at Nakamura from the inside of the ring and audibly in Japanese. As Nakamura makes his way down the ramp, referees have saved Apollo Crews, thankfully. Hideo Itami is going crazy in the ring and he's just waiting for Nakamura. As Nakamura enters, Hideo runs at him and Nakamura ducks hitting him over the top rope. Nakamura then orgasmically plays to the crowd as the fans in LA are on their feet chanting once again, Nakamura, dun 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 dun. Hideo Itami then slides back into the ring and is charging Nakamura. However, Nakamura was waiting and delivers his violent Kinshasa, leaving Hideo out and cold. Nakamura gets up and bows to the crowd before sliding back to his backside and exiting the ring. All of the while his music has continued to play. Nakamura has returned for the first time in over 4 months, almost 5 months, to NXT. We now get a video breakdown transitioning into The Miz and Enzo Amore. And about that featured great action and average heat, The Miz defeats Enzo Amore in 11 minutes by pinfall with the skull-crushing finale. The Miz gets the feud victory over Enzo Amore, and both will be going separate ways here in NXT in the near future. The Miz with a huge, huge victory, though. Now, we see the NXT Women's Champion Charlotte walk into the ring. She's on commentary next to watch the first ever NXT Women's Money in the Bank match. And about that featured great action and average heat, Mrs. WWE defeats Bayley, Becky, Emma, Asuka, and Sasha in the Money in the Bank match in 15 minutes when Mrs. WWE retrieved the briefcase with help from Mr. WWE. The match had a lot of interference with Mr. WWE distracting Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. Mrs. WWE is your NXT Women's Money in the Bank champion. That title, that briefcase, can give her a shot at the NXT Women's Championship at any time she wants. All right, now Sami Zayn is shown walking down a hallway backstage on his way to the ring because it's main event time, folks. NXT Takeover SoCal is coming to an end when Sami Zayn defends his NXT Championship against Scott Steiner. We then see Scott Steiner's recent debut as well as Sami Zayn's road to where he is today. Tonight is possibly his biggest test yet. Big Papa Pump. I'm very nervous to see what kind of rating these two can pull off, but they're both good at brawling. You know, Parasol, they're both good at that. Both good. You know, they got psycho. I'm very nervous because Steiner's so old. Let's see what happens. Here we go. 58, okay. And about that featured a good crowd and good action. Sami Zayn defeats Scott Steiner in 8 minutes by pinfall with a roll-up out of nowhere. Sami Zayn makes his defense number 2 of his NXT Heavyweight Championship. And that's how we're going to end it tonight. There's going to be no post-match drama. We've had a lot of it in the show. Sami Zayn defeating Scott Steiner. And I will tell you that I will be booking a rematch between Scott Steiner and Sami Zayn on an upcoming NXT episode. This is going to be only the second time in 3 seasons, the second time in over 130 episodes that I will be putting the NXT World Heavyweight Championship on the line at a non-takeover special. So Sami Zayn with the quick roll-up out of nowhere. Scott Steiner was not expecting it. A little bit of controversy here potentially. Maybe his foot were on the ropes, maybe they weren't. But Sami Zayn getting the victory here tonight over Scott Steiner in the main event. And this increased our popularity in 7 regions. NXT Takeover SoCal. Let's go with Let's go with Sami Zayn, and then Doc, and Carl. All right, well, this was NXT The Game Takeover SoCal, NXT Season 3, Episode 19, Takeover SoCal, and, we had a lot of feuds ending this show, so we're going to get brand new feuds and brand new programs with you starting next week. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.